probably take a week or two like that
treatment through the week.
Yeah, you have to be monitored. Because they had 2 people, and I listened to this podcast. And the lady from the University of Miami, she knows about it. She could drop the molecule, and she could tell how this molecule interrupts in your mind, physically cleanse you physically from the addiction to, like, it could be hair, opiates, tobacco, alcohol. It is truly amazing plant. It's an African root. But no, they had 2 people died over in Denmark. They were going through the treatments, and they found they died. It can kill you.
They got too much of it.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't monitor them right, or whatever like that. Maybe the heart started racing. Don't know, but people who take it don't like the effects.
Don't like to go back to what they were addicted to.
But I mean, don't like the effects of the Ibogaine
of it itself.
Yeah. Almost like salvia. People don't do that. Can be salvia. You don't find people addicted to salvia and stuff like that because the effects of it is really overwhelming. It is overwhelming. It lasts 20-something minutes, but it might be 20-something minutes of hell.
Yeah, that's that dude who tried to jump through the goddamn. Well, he did make it through the window.
He make it through the window, but he never got back in. And I think you can hear people outside. You can hear people outside and probably talking to him, and
and his wife kind of woke up wanting to know what the hell just happened.
Yeah, so she probably floating down in this river to like bliss, whatever like that. And he's like out there fighting off imaginary poisonous cockroaches that's attacking him.
Dungeons and Dragons shit.
Yeah, you have to respect those things. Even if you don't use it, if you plan to use it, respect it wherever. And most of it's illegal anyway. So you can go to jail. They'll come after you and all that stuff.
Yeah, they'll get on your ass if you're carrying it around with you.
Well, so what you thought about this gay thing? Now it's legal in all 50.
I don't give a fuck.
I know you don't.
It's the same. It's the same as when black people and white people in interracial marriage was against the law. It was the same as when black people couldn't do shit in this country. And I was so surprised that there was such a narrow margin of it being passed. It just passed 5-4. Yeah. And then to hear these judges who was against
it, my goodness,
to hear their vitriol.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my man. I mean, to just read the stuff that they said about it, I thought to myself, and now we're talking about trying to get the Union Jack fucking rebel flag dismissed from our society, and I mean they're pissed now. Those fucking racists and motherfuckers who, because I think the one black
Clarence Thomas,
he voted against.
Yeah, he said slavery had dignity or something like that.
They voted against it, and
they were reaching out their butts of reasoning to this. Just say, hey, you know what? This is what I believe is sin. God doesn't like it. But they can't say that because it's kind of like, they have to try to be legal with it, and then you turn around, you listen to their reasoning, it's like,
it's all in their deep-seated feelings of religiosity that's guiding what they're wanting it to be, and how they wanted to judge, and how they did judge, and how they think the thing should still be. And it's like, I mean, like you just said, I don't give a fuck. I mean, somebody just got married. I'm telling you right now, here in South Carolina, about 100 people probably got married today.
Yeah. Really?
Probably. Yeah. In South Carolina. This is June, the month of marriage.
Yeah, I saw, man,
I don't, who the hell what do I care about them being married?
Right.
And the same thing is, I don't want to see them slobbering all over each other and doing all kinds of bullshit in the street either. Yeah. That I think they need to just go and get a fucking room for. Right. And I say I don't want to see that with male on male or female on female.
Right.
I don't want to see the same thing. I don't want to walk in the goddamn Target and seeing a husband and wife, female husband and a wife, all over each other.
Right.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, and I don't want to see it. But I mean, keep that shit to yourself. If you have a peck or a pinch on the ass, that's fine. But don't be crawling all over each other in front of out in public. So that's the only thing that I have against any kind of a relationship. You don't even have to be married.
Right.
Just be kind of. I don't even say respectful. I mean, I don't even think to say decency. Just have some kind of fucking something about it.
To me, well, I think Christianity itself in America has mutated, because for me, you read the Bible. When I think about Paul writing to his church, he would not be. He wouldn't even care about this issue, because it's like secular government. It's like the stuff is over there, but for some reason in America we feel that secular government is an extension of the church. The American country should be governed as basically almost like a church, and for them to invest so much emotion in this, I like. You know what? It's not about this, okay? It's. What I'm trying to say is, we are a secular country, okay? No, you taking this one part of homosexuality, you amplify that, even though it talks about fornication, talks about adultery, talks about lying, you know what I mean?
Divorce,
murders and all that stuff. But you highlight that one like that.
When we're talking about human relationships, we just named the main ones.
We just named
that they just have this real big problem with, because how many of these motherfuckers in Congress have been probably married twice and have already committed adultery and shit like that? They could go sit on a fucking boat spike, man. I just because Clarence Thomas himself was brought up under charges of sexual harassment.
Yep.
I mean, he got cleared of them somehow. He got cleared of it and then became the Supreme Court Justice or whatever fuck he is. And I mean, he was brought up there. I won't say where there's smoke, there's fire, but there's some friction at least.
Yeah.
So there must have been something there for this woman. I don't think nobody. I mean, they might have encouraged her to come more forward with it while he was doing this campaign. But I do think that something happened with him and that woman.
Well, yeah. Well, it's
that was probably uncomfortable for her, but she probably felt she had to go along with it because she was his employee and stuff, or underneath him in some way, and so she probably felt she just had to really get along, go along to get along, and then you come back years later and you go, this son of a bitch is being considered as a Supreme Court justice when I know he is like this.
Yeah.
And I know he's this kind of way, and they're wanting people of integrity and all of that shit in this position or this particular office or position. But I know for a fact that he is a piece of shit.
Right.
How can I sit back and let that happen? I think that she was probably urged into that direction a lot.
Well, it's always political when, for instance, the Supreme Court justice come up there, and then there are some things that, but working in the workplace where I've seen it, where it was quite often. I worked at this one place. It was worse there than it was when I was in service, as far as seeing how women were just openly grabbed and stuff like that. It is really bad, man. It's just one place, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But anyway, and but when you have a daughter, you just saying, you know what?
Shit ain't right.
Shit ain't right. And you know what? And you say, if somebody terrorizing my daughter, because a lot of times women, and I've known a good person who kind of went through that, they feel like, you know what? I don't want to get this guy in trouble.
Right. They feel
like a loyalty. Or sometimes they'll feel like maybe something I'm doing. Maybe
guilt.
I'm sending him the wrong message, or they'll feel they'll give that benefit of the doubt sometimes. So like a woman should not have to be harassed, especially by a guy who that's a whole new topic, man.
Well, well, that's the whole thing. We're probably right about 30 minutes now anyway, ain't we?
We going 40 minutes, man. But we can split this into two, man.
Okay.
We get part
the
one.
thing about it is, I didn't know
two.
how long the book MacBook can record before it want to just say "fuck us."
I don't know.
And
when it blows up, it blows
I
up.
don't want to be sitting here talking shit and none of the better stuff
What
get on.
was some of the funnier things happened this week, man?
Funnier things
for you? I mean, really, we live in Charleston, and we were in we call it the epicenter of this thing that happened with at Mother Emanuel.
Well, how the fuck is something that just sounds like a dichotomy? Mother Emanuel.
That's the AME.
Isn't Emanuel more like a male name, and then they call it mother? I thought motherfucker.
That's AME. AME culture.
You grew up in AME.
I grew up in AME, and we had a Mother Bethel up in Philadelphia, which is the first.
Bethel isn't bad to call it Mother Bethel,
but Mother
Emanuel. My goodness, that just sounds ass backwards to me.
Yeah, nah, they that's AME. They have they have a certain custom of doing things and way of doing things that it's quite interesting, quite unique. I know I've been in that church a number of times, and it feels like you're in a museum when you're in that church. It feels very.
I can imagine. I mean, it's very historical.
Yeah, I mean, Visa. I didn't know. Growing up, man, I was told and didn't pay attention that Denmark Vesey. That was his church. He started that church. The guy that was going to start the revolt,
the slave revolt.
Revolt. Funny how we will just go ahead and murder and kill a guy for rebellion against slavery, but then turn around, we will honor and name everything after people who want to rebel to keep slavery. You know, that's really screwed up. You know, that's really screwed up. You know. Robert Smalls. We don't have nothing named after Robert Smalls. And I have to go down to Beaufort. Robert Smalls was a slave who drove a ship out of Charleston Harbor when this thing kicked off with the Union, when it was first started with. He drove a ship. He's a hero. Not only that, but he became a legislator. He became a person during the Reconstruction, a congressman. Started working on things. Working great parts that help everybody. And turn around. We don't in Charleston. We don't have nothing named after him, to my knowledge. But yet, we would name a damn housing project after Ben Pitchfork Tillman, the biggest racist pig in the South. So, the guy who said, basically, when he found out, when he was U.S. Senator, when he found out that Booker T. Washington was having lunch at the White House with Theodore Roosevelt, he says that we have to kill 1,000 niggas for them to know their place. He became, we call it a governor, and his pig looking face is up there at the State House right now. Biggest racist in the South, man.
They won't pull that down.
I'll pull it down, man.
See, that's the whole fucking thing about it, man. And that's what people have been getting into about this whole thing about the rebel flag needing to come down. The fact of the matter is, the whole idea of the rebels were to keep slavery. Which they got their ass kicked.
Yeah, they were.
So why are we still holding? I mean, it's history. It's historic. That's true. I don't have no problem with history. But when you fly the flag that's still supposed to show that it has a position and a mindset, that goes to show you that mindset is pretty fucking racist.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know how it was until, I was forced to start looking at some of this stuff. But the guy who designed the flag was the flag, the one that's we part of the design now, the Southern Cross. Because stars and bars are totally different. That looks like more like a United States flag. So never confuse the Southern Cross with the stars and bars. The flag that we now have is the Southern Cross. But this is what he said. His name is William T. Thompson. He said this in April 23rd, 1863, the Daily Morning News. And he's the one that designed the white man's flag, okay? As a people, we are fighting to maintain the heavenly ordained supremacy of the white man over the inferior or colored race. A white flag would thus be emblematic to our cause. That's a culture.
And the design of that flag, it's a culture. Like you're about to say, it's a culture. The design of that flag didn't start flying until the 60s, when all of those motherfucking governors and representatives of each of these southern states claim that that's why they were holding on to their heritage.
A heritage of white supremacy. That's where it basically is. This is a heritage of white supremacy. What else can you say? It was at the forefront of slave.
It was all about slavery.
There was a professor who wrote something, and it popped up in the editorial part of the Charleston Post and Courier. He was a professor at Purdue, and he explained that the Confederacy, before the election of Abraham Lincoln, were expanded. They were planning to expand into the Caribbean and into Latin America. And when they expanded to Latin America, they were saying they were going to take the model, the plantation model, and use African slaves as they were going to use continued slavery, and they were going to push this model down into the Latin America and the Caribbean. And this is another quote that came from back in that era here, and it said right here, where is that thing at? Oh, golly. All right. This is by George William Bagby. He was a Southern humorist during the Civil War, but also Richmond correspondent for the Charleston Mercury. And he said this, the destiny of the Southern master and his African slave pointed them southward to the banks of the Amazon. And then have this right here, it says, to explain what he meant by that. It was a popular idea at the time for Southerners to believe that their cause should be expanded southward into Latin America. Now,
and they went there.
Mm-hmm.
They went there.
You know about the Brazil?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
And they went there. Now the dichotomy is that those motherfuckers are now half black. They're mixed up with every other kind of race, Hispanic or whatever Indian that you would want to call, and they still do that. They probably don't have a clue no more of why they actually wound up there. That's what's so crazy about it.
It was a flag.
Because they ran away. They ran down there. And the thing about it was so crazy that they ran down there because John Horse and his crew of Seminoles ran down there, and that motherfucker became like a general. There was no such thing as slavery there. So I don't understand why they went there.
Right.
I don't understand why they went there.
To Brazil?
Yeah, down. I mean, just south anyway.
Well, Brazil. This is what I read. In Brazil, they were looking for Confederates because Brazil ended slavery after the United States.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they ended slavery.
But Mexico.
No, Mexico didn't. No.
Okay, so they went through Mexico without getting.
I think they took a ship.
They took a ship and went around.
Went down there. Yeah. Yeah, they went through it, and that's the thing about it. Slavery started to end all throughout Latin America because of the Haitian Revolution. This is what a Haitian historian said. He says they saw how bloody the Haitian Revolution was. In France, they got out of the business. So you have to thank the Haitian Revolution for the United States. Because let me tell you what, if that Haitian Revolution didn't take place, we would not have got that Louisiana territory. That would remain with France. We would not have gotten that. So France would have kept that because they were making money big time. You know, they had settlements all the way up the Mississippi River. You can go up the Mississippi River and you can see some actually French type from that era.
Their influence.
Yeah, their influence. So, but then they had these it's a religion because the curse of Ham. You know, the curse of Ham, justifying the enslavement of black men because Ham saw Noah's nakedness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is an ideology, a theology behind that.
Shit.
You know? No, that culture was it was white supremacy.
It was supremacy and slavery. That's what that. When you see that particular emblem, it is an emblem that says we never got over the fact that slavery was abolished.
Right.
And, to have it flying over a state house is really... And I don't know why it couldn't have come down the day that they said. I don't understand all this bullshit. I honestly don't understand all this bullshit.
It's arrogance because they don't want to give it into, like, for instance, it is. I mean, on my Facebook page, people are offended that the flag come down off the state. Well, there should be only 2 flags on the state house: the U.S. flag and the state flag. Okay, now why are you gonna put a flag of treachery, a flag that offends people, and it offends people?
Not only that, the flag just said to fuck you, we're not part of the United States anymore. That's what it said as well.
It said that, yes it did,
It said, fuck you, we're not a part of the United States anymore. But yet, we're going to still fly it here in this particular region that said, fuck you, we're not part of the United
Alabama
States
yanked
no
it down.
I was surprised that they did it as quickly as they did.
They did, yeah.
I mean, they just,
South Carolina's
they just did it.
South Carolina's the only one with
this backwards ass fucking overgrown fucking place. I hate this fucking place. I live here. I grew up here. I was born and raised here till I was 18 years old. I hate this fucking place. Fuck this place. Fuck South Carolina. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I like about it is that it don't snow. And since I've been back here in 10 years, it's fucking snowed about 5 times and freezed over about twice. And now I'm even more shitting with it. Fuck this state, man. As backwards ass as it can be. And full of shit. Full of shit. Everything about it. All this legislation and rules and governing, and you can't have a liquor store open until you can't have it open after 7 o'clock. You can't have a goddamn sell liquor on a Sunday. Fuck this place, man. The only thing that's halfway decent about it, and I even say that this is just the winter times that you're not supposed to look for it to fucking snow. And like I said, it's done fucked that up the whole time that I've been here as well. The goddamn mosquitoes, fuck them. The goddamn gnats, fuck them. This heat wave we've had with all of the humidity. The beaches are shitty. The beaches look like a goddamn sewage. And people want to come here to fucking swim in that shit. Y'all are stupid as hell to want to spend your money to come here to Charleston, South Carolina. I got into a conversation with a lady when I worked on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
I got in a conversation with a woman. She was from Pittsburgh, and I had on my Steelers jersey, right? Mm-hmm. And I was walking around the cruise ship, and she stopped me. Grabbed my arm and stopped me. You from Pittsburgh? I said, no, I'm not from Pittsburgh. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm a Steelers Pirates fan. And she was like, oh, yeah, I've been to Charleston. Oh, Charleston is so beautiful. It's so nice. Oh, it's so beautiful. I said, yeah, that's what I've heard. And she was like, oh my goodness, it has the beaches, it has the plantations. I said to her, does it look like I want to see a plantation? You should have seen that Goldilocks blonde-headed white woman's mouth just drop when I said, do you know what you actually just fucking said to me about a plantations are so beautiful? I don't give a fuck that they are just a tourist trap now. Yeah. I still know what they were.
Right.
And she was like, now, I said it in jest. I really did. I said it in jest. I wasn't being mean-spirited about it. Right. But I was actually being serious about it. But not mean-spirited about it. And because I even laughed when I said it. When I saw her face, I thought, oh, I just touched a nerve right there. But fuck this place, man. I'm surprised we really do. Who's Joe Riley? Is he a Democrat? What the fuck is he? He's a Democrat. Yeah. What is Summey's
a Republican.
Fuck all of them. Summey and them wouldn't even have done a goddamn thing if that video wouldn't have came out of that dude shooting that boy in his back.
You talking Walter Scott?
They wouldn't have done a damn thing. They would have just took that cop as his word. It wouldn't have been an investigation as to why he had 5 bullet holes in his back from 25, 40 feet away.
That's so creepy. And then this happened in Los Angeles with the one guy got shot in the head. He was reaching for a towel, or he had a towel or something like that. You saw that one? But they're very slow about trying to get these guys medical aid. You know what I mean? They'll just handcuff them like that. Dude got shot like in the back of his head. I mean, where you gonna put handcuffs on him? You know, I mean, Walter Scott got shot 5 times in the back trying to run, and
laying down on his face, can't breathe, not breathing, and then handcuffed.
Is that something? The cop is next door to
that Storm dude, whatever the fuck his name.
You heard they did Dylan Roof. Yeah, they're like $4 million. Is that really true that there was $4 million was raised for him?
How much?
$4 million.
I don't know. I never heard.
I've heard. I don't know if that's just an internet rumor. Just to, there was a prank. It was satire. Say that George Zimmerman won the Florida lottery. Man, you know how much people was pissed off, man, when they heard that.
Shit.
But
man, that's another son of a bitch too. Somebody's gonna get his ass.
Yeah, but if at the same time we were talking about, did we talk about the Charleston 9 and about the firemen? We lost 9 firemen years ago, and then we lost the 9 souls at
Emanuel. Emanuel AME.
Yeah,
I find it hard to call it Mother Emanuel.
Mother Emanuel.
That just fucking sounds stupid to me. I'm sorry.
Well,
that fucking just sounds just crazy as fuck to me.
Yeah.
But Emanuel AME, and that was on the. Was it exactly the same day? It was like the same date. It was like
within a week, within a
day, within a day, right?
Wasn't no because I think didn't we sell it? Didn't they have the?
I thought that the Emanuel thing happened that Wednesday, and then the Charleston 9 anniversary was that Thursday.
I thought it was Saturday.
Damn. They were saying that it was on the same thing. Maybe I misunderstood.
Maybe I misunderstood.
No. If you looked at it and saw the dates, because see, I didn't see the
Wasn't
date.
That creepy, man.
That's why it hit me the way it did, because it felt creepy to me that it was the 9 at the Emanuel AME Church, and then just hours. I mean, because they got killed like around 9:00 or something like that, and then just hours later the next day was the anniversary of the fireman who died in that Sofa Superstore fire.
Yeah.
That's what got me about it. I would have to really look at the dates, because when that whole thing with the super, something. You know how I learned the Superstore was burning up over there, and then found out that the fireman got killed.
How did you find out?
I found out with a friend in Iowa who texted me here to tell me that it was going on. I had to go look out my window to see the smoke plumes. I had no clue that was going on.
Yeah, that thing rocked the world, man. And then this thing about the shooting down at the church rocked the world too, man. I mean, I don't know if did you go down? Yeah, I went down there.
I don't go downtown when it's normal.
Yeah. It was just a lot of
I don't go down there when it's normal. I didn't know that I wasn't going to try to go down there with all of that carrying on happening. No, I didn't go down there. With my job, I was involved with a lot anyway. I mean, I had to pull a lot of overtime, just to cover that all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because we were on the air with it for the whole time during the guy's funeral, even an hour before his funeral started.
Yeah.
Friday.
Okay, well, I know it's been really a long week for us, but we've been at this for quite a while. We probably have to split this into 2. A lot of the emotions here. You probably can see that. That we have. It's South Carolina, so we got several things going on at the same time. So anyway, but we're gonna have to probably go ahead and cut out, and we're definitely going to upload once a week. But this video here probably going to end up being 2. We don't want to, we want it to be enjoyable for our subscribers out there. This Nez over here. I'm P, this Brown Liquor Conversations, and this is where we just come here and we call freestyle, and we just be ourselves.
We just talk.
Yeah.
We just conversate. This is Brown Liquor Conversation.
Yeah. And that's
listen to a little music. See, we would have music going on the whole time, usually.
Yeah.
We find a song or two, but for what we're doing here, we just have one song, and
yeah, I know. This might be misappropriate, but I want to dedicate this song to the 9 souls that was perished in the shooting about a week ago, the 17th.
It's over a week, because Wednesday was a week.
Yeah.
Wednesday was a whole week.
This is if I have on here is the National Black Anthem.
Lift every voice and sing.
Oh, you know it, huh? How do you know that song?
I can sing it word for word.
You can?
Yes.
Yeah. The whole words?
All of it. I can sing the whole song. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but this is by the Jocelyn Grove Choral Society, and then I probably have to. It's the NAACP song, but this is it right here.
Well, I guess we'll just sign off.
Yep, we sign off.
Cheers.
Hold on. Some people may trip out because we're doing this to a religious song, but anyway.
I ain't religious.
We're not really. We're the least religious people in the world.
Cheers.
Cheers.
School recruiting for band and chorus. And I went out for chorus. That was the song that I sang. But I sung it in the version of Lady Sensational Nightingales. Yeah. That was the song that I sang right there because I went in there. I didn't know that she was wanting us to be on the spot and sing.